We're really excited for the transformation today. I'm going to bring everybody out here in a second. We're going to start with the trainer. I don't know if you guys have met him at all. I know we got friends and family, and some of you guys have had a chance to meet him. But we're going to start with Dustin. So Dustin, why don't you go ahead and come on in and join us here. So 6 months ago, we set off to change the lives of two people, one male, one female, and we drew a name to do so. And that's Beth and Scott, who are going to be here today to reveal their transformation. And Dustin is the trainer that we actually had working with them. So this is the guy that made it all happen. Everybody, a round of applause for Dustin here. So Dustin is the trainer that we had working with Beth and Scott. For 6 months, he's been putting in a lot of work to make sure that they're reaching their fitness goals. There is a lot of back and forth between trainer and clients. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but it's a lot of hard work on both sides, just so you guys are aware. Wanted to bring him in, so congratulations on all the hard work that you guys have been putting in. Let's get a round of applause for Dustin here. Good job, sir. What we're going to do is we're going to start with Scott. We'll have him come in. Everybody make sure we're cheering real loud. He put in a lot of hard work here. Scott, why don't you go ahead and join us? All right.
Good to be here.
Okay, buddy. Scott, how you feeling?
Awesome. Great. I mean, really, really good.
Finally to the end of this thing. How you feel? Feel pretty good?
Just the beginning.
Exactly. Yeah. We phenomenal. Awesome. I mean, it's really, really good. Really good.
We're going to get into this a little bit more detail here in a second. Why don't you go ahead and have a seat?
Absolutely.
We'll have Beth join us here.
All right. Perfect.
So now we're going to move on to Beth. Again, loud cheers. Lots of hard work that went into this. Dustin, go ahead and let her on in here. Beth, go ahead and join us. Looking fabulous as always. How are we? Good. Go ahead and have a seat here. How are you feeling?
Fantastic.
You look great.
Thanks.
First of all, I will say this right off the bat. We have to give a little shout out to our friends at the Artistic Edge for the nice hair, makeup, everything that you had done today. So that was phenomenal. And then Scott, I know you had a massage today too. How you feeling?
Oh, just relax. Cool as a cucumber.
Need to get me one of those.
Absolutely. It was worth it.
Well, I want to start with this. So it's been 6 months. We're finally to the end of this thing, right? Or the beginning, as Dustin said, which I like the way he put that. What I want to start with, first and foremost, how are you feeling? It's 6 months. It's finally over. You can look at that one of two ways. I know a lot of times it's not the most fun experience, but the results paid off for sure. So how do you feel?
I feel great. I feel stronger, which I think is most important. I mean, weight loss is great, and that was all really important, but for me personally, I just feel stronger. I feel like I can do things with more ease than I could before. So,
perfect. And I know your transfers is something that you made like a #1 priority.
Yeah, absolutely.
How's that going? Pretty
better,
well?
much better.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to know that we can make a positive impact in that way as well, because it's not always about the scale, and we tell everybody that, but it's good that you have some other ways to measure that as well. Scott, sir, when we first sat down and you told me you wanted to lose 20 pounds,
Right.
you seemed like you were maybe even a little offended that I was like 20. Okay, cool. And then what? And you were so shocked whenever I was like, I think we could probably lose more than that.
Yeah. You pushed politely, but that was, yeah, so 45 pounds, 199. 244 to 199.
Nice.
Nice.
Like it. Nice work. Now, I was lucky enough to see some of those workouts in action, so I know about the work that you put in, but I'm going to ask you first. So give me your favorite exercise during this whole process. What do you think your favorite one was?
Laying on his back.
Yeah, I do like being on the ground. No, I like a lot of the core work and stuff like that. That's actually been good. I don't whether it's planks, the plank ups, even the climbing. We do some of those like up downs. That type of stuff is all good.
Feel that tightness the day after.
It is. Yeah, you feel it. It burns. It's good. I like those.
Perfect. And then what about you, Beth? What was your favorite exercise?
I don't know whether Dustin would be surprised by this or not, but actually the ab work that I did, because the day that I discovered that I still had them,
Right?
was like the best and worst day in combination ever, because I hadn't used them in such a long time. So typically, like, we would start with that, and it was really kind of a good way just to get warmed up. And I complained a lot, admittedly, but I
Told her
think
to trust me. She did, and then we found it.
yeah. And then that was
found her
probably
muscles.
my favorite. So even like every time we would meet and we would work out, I really kind of liked, even when I complained, I really did kind of like doing the ab stuff.
And Dustin makes it all right too, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
sure. Absolutely.
Now, I do want to turn some focus on you, Dustin, for a second, because I know a lot of people are probably looking at this. If they look back 6 months ago to where they started, they're probably thinking, all right, well, I wonder what it took to get them there. So I want to ask
Right,
you,
and that's the
training style,
that's the
what it
most
looked like.
unique experience about my perspective is everybody sees the results, but it's more unique for me because I actually got to see it firsthand how it happened. And that's why I got into this, and that's the biggest thing that I take away from it. I was actually able to see them do it,
perfect,
which is incredible.
That's awesome. So let's talk about training style. Let's start with Beth. So what kind of workouts did you guys do to accomplish the things you were able to accomplish, and how did you go about pushing her in a way where she stayed responsive and didn't just turn it off and say, Dustin, get the heck out of my house?
You wanted to say that numerous occasions, probably precisely 48 times. That's how many sessions we had. We did a lot of circuit training, though. We did a lot of combination of 6 or 7 exercises. Sometimes we broke it up. We did abs in the beginning or the ends, something like that. One of her favorite schemes is 190-80. I'll explain that a little bit. Is where you start with one exercise, do it 100 times, and then we work our way down with 10 different exercises. 100 times, 100 reps, 90 reps, 80 reps. She always wanted. That's definitely one of the times she wanted to tell me to get out of the house.
Wednesday?
Yeah.
We just did it Wednesday, except we broke it up a little bit. So instead of doing something 100 times, we did it halvesies. So we did the first half, so 100 reps of something, we did it 50 times, then we went back and did all the other half.
Okay.
So that was good. I didn't really have to push her that much. I can see the pain in her face most of the time, but she was very responsive as far as wanting to get it done too.
Perfect. Well, I know she's a hard worker, but it's good
Yeah.
to hear that other people get to see that
I didn't have
as
to
well.
push either of them that much.
Now that I know you're lying about, because I've seen your guys'
I
workouts.
push them. I push them definitely, but there was never a time that they said that I can't do this.
Awesome. That's good to hear. Scott, let's talk about his workouts a little bit. Like I said, I've seen him a few times, but I know everybody in here.
So
and then
in the beginning, we started slow. We started slow with all of our clients, obviously, just to get them going. But we started one of your favorite exercises, the Bozu ball. I'm definitely kidding. Doing side to side, yeah. We did a lot of Bozu ball work, a lot of high intensity stuff in the beginning. It was nice to see him progress in that aspect of it because we were able to do some of the same exercises like 2 weeks later, and he's like, "Wow, I can't believe I can do this now." So that was incredible. We did a lot of circuit training though, but now since we're down to the weight loss, we basically met our weight loss goal. We're doing a lot more strength training stuff.
Awesome. So I'll ask you first, Beth. I want to know, what was your favorite part about the last 6 months? Besides the hair, because she did already tell
Because
me.
I did admit today was my favorite part.
She
No.
said her favorite part in the last 6 months was getting her hair done.
was
this morning.
today. I think my favorite part was what I learned about myself, about starting and finishing something. I think just having people around to encourage, because when you do it by yourself, it's real easy to go, yep, done with that, on to the next thing, or let's go watch TV or whatever. So for me, that was kind of the best part of it.
Okay.
I
Not feeling
re-
it burn a little bit and saying, all right, I think that was good.
Yeah, yeah, because it's easy to go, forget it, I'm done. That hurts. Oh, wait, I tweaked that. Oh, I'm not going to do it anymore.
Perfect. Well, I'm glad you got to learn that about yourself, because now you can take that going forward and make sure you apply it, right?
Yeah,
There we go.
absolutely.
Interesting thing, this was going into this, like she said that she would never be able to touch the floor, and it just happened 3 weeks ago. She said, I don't think I'm ever gonna be able to touch the floor. And she's this close like the entire time, and now she's able to do that now. She can actually reach that. But, so a lot of time I go in, I pick some, like she has some change on the floor stuff, I pick it up
Yeah, I
for
still
her.
don't pick it up though.
Yeah, but she can reach the floor now, which is incredible.
Nice. Awesome. Well, good work.
Good for you.
Good work.
I forgot about that.
Scott, what about for you? Favorite part, the whole experience? You had to pick one part.
Buying new clothes, man. Smaller
You
pants.
told me I was running out of money.
Yeah, pretty
You're
much.
welcome.
I think just how I feel, the amount of energy that I have, even getting up on a Saturday morning. Dustin and I pretty routine with some Saturday early mornings. We've done some early Saturdays, 5:30 a couple times. I like more like 7, but we make it work. But it's a great way to start the weekend, and I think that has been my favorite part, because you kind of come away, you're all amped, you got that pump going. It's a good positive note to start the weekend. So that has probably been my favorite part.
I try to make that the hardest thing he's going to do the rest of it. Like to start the day off, that's the hardest thing he's going to do all day. It makes everything else easier.
Yeah, and it's true. Some tough Saturdays.
I like it. I like it. So is there anything that surprised us along the way? Beth, I'll start with you. Is there anything over the last 6 months that when you signed up for this, you thought about it going this way? Was there anything that really surprised you along the way? Something that maybe...
That I finished?
So you were planning on quitting?
No, I wasn't planning on quitting, but I know this is like on video and it's going to be on Facebook, so this is going to get me in a lot of trouble. But honestly, when I called my mom and I told her what I was doing, she's like, what's a trainer going to be able to do for you? Like,
Mom.
see, sorry, Mom, I love you. You know I love you, Mom. But I think she meant it in the sense that, like, what's he going to be able to do to adapt, accommodate, figure out, like that kind of stuff, really is how she meant it. Not that it wasn't the trainer, but sorry, Mom, you know I love you. Anyway, so for me, that was like just kind of watching Dustin think about things, like how can we adapt that or what can we do? And being able to do that and like actually seeing success and really seeing success. I mean, really pretty quickly, like it was really a matter of a few weeks where I was like, yeah, I kind of see where this might actually work.
And at that point, it's a little more self-interest involved. You're like, all right, this is actually working. I'm gonna
It's
keep going.
working, yeah.
Perfect. I
Yep.
like it. So it's a great surprise. Hopefully it didn't surprise you too much that it actually worked. But
No, but I think when you haven't used muscles for so long that you haven't used and you're not quite sure that they're there and there's other things that are kind of going on along with it, you just don't really know what's going to happen. So that was kind of the surprise, like, oh, it's happening the way it's supposed to happen.
I love it.
I guess that was a better way of saying it.
You're good. Scott, anything that surprised you along the way? Besides losing more than you thought you could?
I think the weight loss is probably the most stunning aspect of it. And then the notion of that kind of like you and I talked about, I got to tear you down to build you back up. And I thought that would be such a horrible process. And I was surprised at truthfully how much I enjoy it. And now it's like, like Dustin said, I want to work on the strength conditioning and start to like fill out my chest and arms and stuff. So I think my response, I mean, whether it's a physiological or mental or all of the above, like my response to the workouts surprised me. Like, wow, this is good, and I like this, and I feel great, and I want to, keep moving forward with it.
Love it.
Dustin,
I am going to ask you the same question too. So along the way through the training process, 6 months with two different people with different goals, what surprised you along the way?
I was really surprised by how on board they were from the get-go and onward. Honestly, I think I might have had more cancellations. I might have canceled on Beth more than she canceled on me. She canceled at one time. I canceled twice due to sickness. She canceled once due to sickness. This guy never canceled. And I think that's just the most surprising thing to me is they were that on board to make that lifestyle change. This is really hard to get into. This is really hard to do. It's really hard to lose 45 pounds in 6 months and actually have that mindset to do it. And I just don't know how they did it. I mean, I was there along the way twice a week, but to mentally put yourself in that place, it's really hard to do.
Right. Well, it's definitely surprising, but the good thing is
Here's to 6 more months.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what I
Absolutely.
like. So one thing that we asked you guys a couple of different times along the way, when we first started, we asked, what made you guys want to enter? 3 months in, we asked, is there any advice you would give yourself looking back 3 months? Now what I'd like to ask you guys, because we are actually announcing that we're going to do another giveaway here today. We're going to start it today. Entering is going to go all the way through October 29th. But what I want to ask you guys is if you could give advice to anybody who's on the fence about entering, because Beth, I remember specifically, we were in my office when we first got this whole thing kicked off, and you said, I never win anything. So I don't even really know why I entered. So if you had to give advice to somebody who's on the fence, maybe they think they want to do this, but maybe it's not for them, what would you say to that person?
First, I'd say enter, because you have nothing to lose by entering and everything to gain, and it's totally worth it. And you really will surprise yourself if you get a chance to do it, because once you start, it is rather addicting.
Didn't you tell us that you looked at it and then
I
scrolled
walked.
past
Yeah, I
it?
went. I actually saw it on Facebook. I did. I saw it, and I went, yeah, that's really nice. I never win anything. That's fun. And I went and did something else, and
You
then
went back to it.
somebody sent me a text, and I picked my phone back up again, and then there was a message. There was something on Facebook that beeped, and so I looked again, and that was the first thing that popped up again. So I went, oh well, okay, all right, I'll enter, whatever. whatever.
Perfect.
So I did.
Awesome. So, Scott, same thing. Any advice you'd give somebody who's on the fence? They're thinking about maybe signing up for it, but maybe not. Maybe it's not for them. What would you say to that person?
I was that guy. I mean, it wasn't for me. There's every excuse in the book to not put myself first. And so absolutely, put yourself first. And that's a difficult concept to grasp. But man, I want to be in it for the long haul. I want to see those kids get married and have kids and be a grandpa and do all that. And if I'm not taking care of myself, I mean, those opportunities are less likely to happen. So it was truly transformative. I mean, that's a great word for the contest. I can't encourage people enough to enter. In fact, it was so rewarding. I mean, I think you and I talked, and Dustin, I'm on board with him for another 6 months, twice a week. I mean, we're going to hammer it out.
And that goes for both of you guys.
Yeah, Beth also. Yeah,
well, more training. That's good. Round of applause for that. We're going to continue. Awesome.
I like this so much they're paying for it now.
Yeah, but I think what's interesting is I would have never considered a trainer. I mean, it's like, okay, well, you're going to join a gym and you go to Planet Fitness or whatever, and man, this is the way to do it, especially if you're a novice. I mean, just the skills and the techniques and how to train. I mean, there's a science and to it, and for me, signing up for another 6 months was a no-brainer because there's zero risk. I know it works. I mean, it's proof positive. This works. So enter. I can't say it enough. Enter.
Awesome. I think that's a great way to wrap it up. So what I will say, we are doing another Transformation Challenge giveaway. Immediately following this video, you guys will have a chance to sign up for that all the way through October 29th at midnight. So look out for that on our Facebook. Make sure you're signing up for that. We will announce the winners later in the year. Super excited to continue to change lives here at EFS. And let's get one more round of applause for these guys. Thanks again for coming. Guys, nice work. Seriously, nice work. Nice work. Nice work.